Namaste, I am Ayush Mohanty welcoming you all to this video, and in this video we are starting a series in which we will discuss about election laws in India, especially the Representation of People Act 1951. So this series will be very interesting. So let's start our video without any delay. See, what are the laws for election in India? See, India is a representative democracy. That's why free and fair elections are the first condition for its success. Okay, so part 15 of Indian Constitution, especially the article 324 to 329 of the Constitution of India, deal with election. Okay, and in article 324 you can see here three words are important: superintendence, direction and control. And it is also written here that superintendence, direction and control of elections to be vested in the Election Commission of India. That's why I have written here that in the Constitution of India, Election Commission of India has given the responsibility for superintendence, direction and control of elections in India. And these three words are of wide amplitude. Listen carefully. And the independence of the commission has been also ensured by various provisions like difficult procedure for removal of Chief Election Commissioner, non-interference in the internal functioning of the commission, and so on. But the other matters related to election are regulated by the provisions of two statutory mechanisms, namely Representation of People Act 1950 and Representation of People Act 1951. And these both acts were passed by Parliament of India. These two acts deal with matters related to elections of the two houses of Parliament, state legislative assemblies and state legislative councils. Now the point I am going to say is a general knowledge. Listen carefully. The allotment of symbols to the different political parties and the procedure for recognizing the political parties as a national party or state party are regulated by Election Symbol Order 1968 issued by the Election Commission of India. Now what are the differences between these two acts, Representation of People Act 1950 and Representation of People Act 1951? See, in our next video we will discuss about qualifications and disqualifications of political representatives. And before going to discuss about that new concept, I will ask some questions related to the topics which we are discussing about in this video particularly. So listen carefully. Representation of People Act 1950 is divided into 5 parts and 32 sections. This act mainly provides for the allocation of seats in the Lok Sabha and the legislative assemblies, preparation of electoral rolls for elections and the delimitation of election constituencies. Part 1 of this act deals with purpose of the act as well as the definition of the terms used in this act. Part 2 is concerned with the allocation of seats to various states in the Lok Sabha and the total number of legislative assembly and council in different states. The allocation of seats for different states in Rajya Sabha is mentioned in the 4th schedule of Indian Constitution itself. Now, the part 2 also lays down the procedure for delimitation of constituencies of Lok Sabha and legislative assemblies and councils. Part 2A prescribes the official machinery for the registration of voters at a district level. Part 2B prescribes the procedure for preparation of electoral rolls for the elections of the two houses of Parliament. Part 3 of this act provides for the preparation of electoral rolls for the election of legislative assemblies in different states. Part 4 deals with the procedure for preparation of electoral rolls for the election of legislative councils. And Part 5, the last part, deals with certain general provisions including the bear on jurisdiction of civil courts in the implementation of this act. But the Representation of People Act 1951, about which we will discuss about thoroughly in this series, it contains 11 parts and 171 sections, and this act provides for the conduct of elections to the two houses of Parliament as well as the houses or house of state legislature of each state. The qualifications and the disqualifications for membership of those houses, corrupt practices and other offences at or in connection with such elections. Part 1 of this act deals with the definition of the terms used in this act. Then the last part, that is 11th part, deals with some general provisions like power to make rules to implement this act as well as the bear on jurisdiction of courts with respect to the provisions of this act. Now from our next video we will discuss about qualifications, disqualifications, corrupt practices, electoral officers, and various topics, and we will discuss thoroughly the Representation of People Act 1951. I hope you have understood the concepts which we have discussed in this video. Okay, thank you.